Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I got way behind this morning because I started watching a lot of video. I was going back through some old video to find some gems, and I did find some gems, which you'll see in this video. The market is very flat. We're looking at coinpaprika.com, who is my sponsor who is my favorite coin site, and things are pretty flat today, but I'm going to move along. iTrustCapital had an announcement today. They just surpassed $6 billion in value. But the other announcement is that they're launching staking with Polkadot on their platform, and then they're going to add other staking on the platform, and so that's pretty huge. And what else is huge is iTrustCapital, who I have 2 accounts, by the way, and the link's in the description of the video on iTrustCapital. But they're also going to be sponsoring USC Athletics, Southern California football. You'll see iTrustCapital advertisements. That'll be cool. That company has turned into a monster. They were just a tiny company when we first saw these guys. Now, Riz XRP put out this old clip of me interviewing Greg Kidd, which is such a great clip about the universal ledger. Listen to this.
When I was playing the poker game and somebody described what Ripple was to me, and I felt like Moses coming down and saying, well, there's this concept of a universal ledger, one ledger for all the value in the world. And it has both the new form of value, but it also has a representation of the old forms of value. And that sweeping statement and scope, I mean, I didn't think I was going to go back into the workforce. That's probably the last time in the last 20 or 30 years where I said, well, I got to go down and meet those guys and talk them into giving me a job because I want to be part of that grand experiment. It is an experiment at that scope, which asks the question of what would happen if we did have a universal ledger. And so this is one of those gambles. And again, my history has been. Anyway,
a universal ledger. Now that rolls into one of these clips I found this morning. This is Jed McCaleb, who was he was the creator of Ripple, and then he left and formed Stellar. Listen to what he says about Stellar, because look, XRP may be better than Stellar than XLM, but they're very similar. Listen to what he says about what it was designed for.
There is this concept inside Stellar of a token, right? And that token was meant to represent fiat currencies for the most part. I mean, we thought maybe people would use it for gold and other things, Stellar. But if you're doing something that's very simple, where it's like a loyalty point or like an ounce of gold or what have you, like that's better done on Stellar because it's just designed for that, right? So
both of these networks, and this is how I think of it. Think about it this way. You can build stable coins. You can build CBDCs. You can have tokenized. You can solve the transferability problem of gold. You can have tokenized real world assets, real estate, shares in a company. You can have everything, all the money, folks. And that's what this is. Bitcoin doesn't do it. Ethereum doesn't do it. XRP and XLM do it. And they're going to do it. But the gold, here's the other point I want to drive. I keep driving it home. And it's that when they solve the transportability problem of gold, there's a reason all these central banks are hoarding all this gold right now. I believe they know that the transportability problem is going to be solved. I believe that it will drive more investors in gold. If you can prove on the blockchain that you own certain gold, right now it might just be in a vault somewhere, okay? But if you can prove your ownership through the blockchain of the X amount of ounces of gold, it's a game changer. That's why I keep showing you this. If I can get it to play. Actually, my computer just did something funny.
The company that I've been talking about is called Glint. They allow you to buy real gold from your phone with just as little as 1 cent, which is beneficial because the price of gold increases over time, while other currencies like the US dollar have been losing their value. And they have a debit card that you can use to spend your gold and use it just like a normal currency. It's a super cool new way to fight inflation. If you want to check it out, head to the App Store.
They have an app This is one of my sponsors, Glint. The link will be in the top of the description. When you click on it, tell them DAI sent you. They want to know. And that's what I've been accumulating gold in. I've also been accumulating physical gold, which you can buy that from them too. You just have to contact them. John Deaton this is the clip I showed yesterday. This woman who was a former SEC, not commissioner, but she was formerly at the SEC. And she said that Bitcoin landed on her desk in 2013 and that they sat around and decided that Bitcoin was not a security, but they didn't say a word to the public that they're supposed to be protecting. Why? John Deaton retweeted. He says, the SEC never made a comment about Bitcoin between 2013 and 18. Why? Because the SEC doesn't talk about specific tokens, right? But then in 2018, Hinman gratuitously declared Bitcoin and Ethereum non-securities. Why? Since his speech, the SEC went back to the SEC doesn't comment about specific tokens. For 2 years, the media and holders asked, what about XRP? It was always, I can't comment. So why did Hinman comment on June 14th, 2018? It seems he was motivated to give that speech, but why? That's the million-dollar question, folks. Now, this was an interesting thing that popped out yesterday. John McAfee faked his death and is still alive in Texas, his ex-girlfriend claims in a Netflix documentary, which the digital asset investor will be watching that documentary. This guy has always fascinated me. In fact, I've watched a documentary on him before. Can't wait to see that. But the first thing that popped in my mind when I saw that, many of you that weren't around, you won't remember this, but it was so awesome. John McAfee used to make all of these videos on Twitter, and I used to cover them here, and this is one of them. One of my favorite things that he would do is, this is him when he was in his Faraday cage with tin foil surrounding him so that the government couldn't track him. But he would do these things he called mixology, where he would show you how to make mixed drinks. In this one, he's doing this Mixology 101, the Sino-Soviet peach. And I remembered this one. Watch what he does.
Soda water in this glass. Not too much. That's about right. What do we do first? First, we take a healthy peach and we take a...
My favorite thing about these videos was all just the unbelievable amount of hard liquor that this guy could consume. Watch this.
Don't swallow. Don't even chew. Take the vodka.
Look at the amount of vodka in that. That's like 2 shots.
Chew. Swallow. And then soda water. Wow.
The guy was pure entertainment, and look, it was a weird thing, the whole thing surrounding him. I hope he is alive in Texas for his sake, but for our channel's sake, imagine how interesting that would be covering that. Now, this is interesting right here. We are entering the all the world's a stage moment of this video, and I want you to pay close attention. So CoinDesk tweets this out. Bitcoin kiosk vendor CoinMe is now selling Ethereum Matic Dog for more than 10,000 grocery store change counting machines. Okay. Now, something I forgot when I tweeted this tweet was that Ripple invested in CoinMe. Okay, not too long ago. And I said the SEC allows you to buy dog at the grocery store, but XRP is too dangerous. Hold your XRP tight. These people are not honest. Now, I tweeted that, and then Rob Licker, who's a very smart guy, he's old school XRP. He's been around for a while. He reminded me of something. Look at this article. Ripple to launch liquidity service for 6 cryptocurrencies. San Francisco-based fintech firm. This is from back on November 9th, 2021. Ripple will launch a product called Ripple Liquidity Hub to give business customers access to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and then I'm assuming they've added Dog to coin by now. cryptocurrencies from a range of global exchanges, market makers, over-the-counter desks. The product will also include XRP, Ripple's native coin. But then when you go down here, it says Ripple Liquidity Hub will use smart order routing to find digital assets at the best prices according to announcement Tuesday. The first partner for the new service is CoinMe, the payments and crypto ATM company that is now working with Walmart to allow customers to buy Bitcoin, and apparently grocery stores too, folks. Ripple plans to add features such as support for staking and yield-generating functions that will explore getting liquidity from decentralized exchanges, said Ashish Burla. Folks, this is firmly... My All the World stage file is getting pretty thick, by the way, and that's how I replied to Rob Licker on this when he sent it to me. And then there was this, folks. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, and Ripple retweeted this yesterday, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Binance Academy has added this video.
The XRPL is stable, scalable, fast, and energy efficient. It has continuously confirmed transactions since its deployment in 2012. While supporting more than 1,500 transactions per second and transaction speeds of 3 to 5 seconds. Transactions are cheap. The average transaction cost on the XRPL is less than a fraction of a penny. The XRPL is friendly to our planet. It is the first major blockchain to be certified.
All right, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but the fact is that Binance is in essence promoting XRP all of a sudden. Now, this is interesting, and there may be nothing to this, but it was interesting. It caught my attention. Now, we've all talked about the Kik case where the SEC sued Kik, and that's been discussed a lot by John Deaton and all. What I never knew, and maybe I should have known it, but I always assumed that Kik, like a lot of the things back during that time, they were sued for their activities of raising money in an ICO, I guess, in 2017. And that I assumed that it was built on Ethereum like just about everything was, or that it was its own network. Well, I ran across this clip from 2018 Consensus with Jed McCaleb, where they say here that Kik switched from Ethereum because Ethereum doesn't work and it didn't scale. They switched to Stellar. The suit points to the 2017 sales, which were from being built on Ethereum, but the lawsuit was not initiated until after they transitioned to Stellar. So my question was that Kik's deadly sin, that they had the gall, because everything Ethereum's great, according to the SEC, everything non-Ethereum is not, or at least as of then, it was that way. So listen to this.
So I think the most notable builder so far on Stellar has been Kik, the mobile messaging platform. We had Ted Livingston on with my co-host Bailey earlier today. And they came out and they raised money on Ethereum. So they collected Ethereum tokens on the Ethereum blockchain, raised there, went to Stellar, and it sounds like now they're cloning their own Stellar network. So they were sort of claiming that they can't really find good scalability, or they can't find a blockchain that will handle what they're looking for in either place. What was your take on that?
So I think, so you're right. So they raised the money on Ethereum, and then I think they realized that Ethereum is good for lots of things, but if you want this token, that really all they need from it, they don't need smart contracting functionality. They just need this representation that is passed around quickly between different accounts, right? And if it's for smaller payments, it doesn't make sense to pay the gas costs and all these things. And sellers
exactly back to those gas fees. So here's the June 14th, 2019. That conversation right here is in May of 2018, 1 month before the Ethereum free pass. The lawsuit against Kik is dropped on June 4th, 2019. And then here's an article from May 8th, around the time of that Jed McCaleb talk, where Kik launches second blockchain to boost its token economy. There may be nothing to what I just showed you, but I find it interesting that the SEC didn't touch them as long as they were built on Ethereum. Once they left Ethereum, all of a sudden they're targeted. Now, this guy right here, remember when the guy went to prison for going over to North Korea and presenting Ethereum, doing an Ethereum presentation? This is the guy. His name's Virgil Griffith. Okay, he admits that the Ethereum, the ICO, is their killer app, their first killer app. This guy, I believe, is the founder of Neo, and he's from China. And watch this dialogue.
Which is true. It is the first killer app of Ethereum definitely was the ERC20
yes.
and the ICOs, but that is just not welcome.
I mean, it would have been nice if it was something, if that was not the first killer app. But, you work with it.
But it was.
Indeed.
But it was.
Targeting, raising fund, targeting not accredited investors in China is not welcome, yes.
Anything Ethereum is welcome in the U.S., but if you're trying to raise funds over in China, Ethereum would not be welcome. So Gary Gensler thinks it's great. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that Ethereum is not welcome in China, but they're welcome by the U.S. SEC.